All right, all right. Hello, hello, everyone. My name is Ashley Walmer, and I am super excited to be here with all of you guys tonight. So welcome to our weekly team call every single Monday night at this time. We do a call, whether it's me or another leader from our team on here, giving you guys tips, tricks, all the goodies about your EMRIS business. So I am so excited tonight because we have a guest speaker that is going to be coming on with us this evening as well. And I have been noticing so many of you out there that are killing it, both online and offline in so many different ways. I know over last week we had a few people talking about expos and what they're doing to get out there and meet new people. And so with all of the new promotions that are coming out right now, there are just a few things that I wanted to teach you guys. So most of you guys know my story. I've been in this industry, trial and error, I'll call it, good and the bad, since I was 19 years old. I've had success, I've not had success. But the last 5 years, I have had pretty good success, I would say. I built to a level that was making 6 figures in 12 months with my former company, all building belly to belly, which means person to person, meeting up with people at coffee shops, having people over, going to people's houses. And I didn't really start tackling the social media part until I was a year into my business, until I was already at that level that was making 6 figures. And the reason why, you guys, is because I knew what I was good at and I wasn't going to stir from that. I wasn't going to stop what I was doing, but I also knew that there was other ways that I could start, maximizing on social media to make a little bit of extra money. And so there are a few things that I've taught my teams in the past that I've known how to do, and we just haven't started doing it at EMRIS. Why? One, because it's such a brand new company. And so we're almost a year in. I know some of you guys are just getting started with us, which is awesome, but I found out about this company about a year ago, which is absolutely crazy. And so I've always thought, man, what would it be like to be at the very beginning of something, to help shape the culture of a company, to help just everybody on a massive scale. And so that is really, one of the biggest reasons why I even said yes to this, outside of an incredible product and incredible leadership and a comp plan that pays us. It was the opportunity to be in at ground floor. I don't know if any of you guys heard the words ground floor and were like me and were like, I'm in. Where do I sign? But that was totally me. But through that, being an early adopter, you guys, so many people think that they're early adopters. They say yes to something, but the second that it gets bumpy or hard, they're out, right? That's okay. That's totally fine, right? Not every person that is a walker or a runner is a marathon runner, right? There's sprinters, there's mid-distance runners, but here's the thing. I said yes to this at the very beginning. Part of it, knowing that there were going to be bumps and things along the way, and not just bumps, you guys, but just like, we don't have it all figured out, right? We're not a 20-year-old company yet. We don't have apps and all this cool stuff. I mean, it's pretty phenomenal to see where we are right now, that we're a year in and we're functioning like we're a 5-year-old company. But there's things that I have been waiting to teach you guys that I am so excited. A few of you had watched the Zoom that I did a few weeks ago called Work Smarter, Not Harder. And I taught you guys all about text replacements and all of that stuff. So this Zoom is going to be kind of like that, where I'm going to teach you guys some different nuggets of things that have helped me in the past. I'm so excited to start implementing them here at EMRIS and on Team Ignite. So a couple of announcements real quick. If you haven't seen yet, we have recruiting bonuses, which are so stinking exciting. Not only does corporate pay us a fast start bonus every single time that we enroll someone, but they just sweeten the pot. They just said, hey, we want to give you guys more money. Like, who says no to more money? Not this girl, right? So they sweeten the pot, you guys, which is absolutely incredible. We have an album on Ignite that shows you different graphics, scripts that you can use, different ways to maximize this recruiting bonus right now. But what I would be doing is I would be putting your head down, following up with everybody, making the ask of everybody, and just recruiting people like crazy. Your business is going to explode, but your paycheck is going to explode, right? So There's that. Also, they opened up 1 stars and above have now have an invitation down to Florida for the Pathway to Directors Summit. So if you are not yet a 1 star, you have until this Thursday to make that happen, to get your invite down to Florida. Okay, so I want to know who is running for that. And when I say who's running for that, like if you're not actually going to run for it and put the effort, that's okay. That is okay. Your goals need to be your goals. But I just want to make sure that if there are people on our team that are saying, you know what, in 4 days, I am claiming 1 star executive. By Thursday, I want this to happen. I want to know. Why? Because I want to lock arms with you guys. Every single person on my team gets me and gets Mike. Sorry, you're stuck with us, right? You get Nikki, you get Steph, you get us. But one thing I've always said to every single person is my goals aren't your guys' goals. I'm not going to push you any more and any harder than you want to be pushed. And I will walk with the walkers, jog with the joggers, and run with the runners. Now, here's one thing. If you're a walker, it's okay. You made that decision, that choice, and I'm going to walk along with you. But don't look at the runners and think that you're doing something wrong by walking. Also, don't look at the runners and think that they're more than you, or they deserve more than you, or start getting jealous of Ashley spends more time with them, or whatever. You guys, your story is your story, your journey is your journey. And if you are a walker, I love you exactly the same way that you are. But also, I just want you guys to know that you get a choice. You get to raise your hand. And what I mean by that is raising your hand means texting me and saying, hey, I want to walk my way to 1 star. Can you help me come up with a plan for that? I want to run my way to 1 star. If you guys are in this business and you want a game plan to move forward in any capacity, you have every right to text, call, blow up my phone to get it figured out for yourself. Okay. All right. Next thing. We are now in the new system of the bonus pool dates, which I am so stinking excited for. So it started yesterday. So March 1st to March 31st, it is going to be a monthly bonus pool dates now. So before it was a rolling 4 weeks. Now it's so easy, you guys. You have the entire month to go get into director and get in the director bonus. You have the whole month to get 1,000 PCCV to get in the customer bonus pool. You also have the whole month to earn the VIP power bonus. Okay, so it is super, super, super simple. One more announcement before we get started. I did our first Instagram influencer bootcamp series Zoom today. Okay, so that is going to be starting and going through the next 3 weeks. If you are under the age of 30 and want to be a part of that, make sure you let me know so we can get you added. You can catch up and watch the Zoom that I did today. Or if you're signing new brand ambassadors that want to work on Instagram and they're in that young millennial generation, make sure that they get access to this series, okay? As soon as it is done, I will be doing another one for 30 and up. Okay. All right. So let's get into the nitty gritty of what we're going to talk about tonight. So I have been noticing there are multiple different pockets of people in our team that are killing it with selling Synergy on the go. Okay. They're not samples. We're not sampling anything. They're on the go. You guys, we make money in 10 ways, actually 11 now if you count the recruiting bonus, and 12 if you guys can start pocketing some of this cash from Synergy on the go. So I have been watching so many different people, and there is one person in particular that I have seen just pop up everywhere, and every single time I talk to anybody in her upline, they're like, oh my gosh, April's killing it, April's killing it, April's killing it. So it's like, you guys got to hear from April tonight, because she is just doing an incredible job, and she's going to give you some of her best tips and tricks on how to kind of make this happen for you. And I know there's been a few of you guys asking, how much are you selling them for? Where do you ship them? How much do you charge for shipping? All of those things. So I'm going to find April and bring her on. All right. Are you there?
Yes, it says I'm unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yes. Perfect. All right.
Awesome.
Okay, so April, can you tell us just a little bit about yourself? Like, where do you live? When did you get started in EMRIS? How long? Well, that's the same thing. How long have you been in? It's the same question, but maybe why did you say yes to EMRIS?
Yes, absolutely. So I initially joined about 3 months ago just to help with holiday cash. I'll be honest, I wasn't entirely sure how long I was going to stick with it. So I've done this business before, so I'm kind of familiar with it. And the best way for me to kind of explain it was I have a background in sales with hospitals. So in my in my mind, if I can convince a CEO of a massive health system to work with me, I'm pretty sure I can sell a bottle of CBD to somebody. So figured I might as well hop into this. So I really encourage everyone to get creative with how they jump into it. But to answer your question, sorry, I'm getting too excited.
No, you're good.
I'm based I'm based in Dallas. I live in Victory Park, kind of the downtown area. So we love to be out and about. Very social. My boyfriend Dave is actually a brand ambassador as well. So it's kind of it's been really good so far. And like I said, it just started, and I'm sure everyone in this business has the same story. It's you join for one reason and then it takes off and you're like, holy crap, what just happened? So that's where I'm at right now.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. So when you first got started, I feel like you started selling the on the goes like right away. That was one of the ways that you were making money. You made your money back like right away, didn't you?
Yes. So I decided that because I remember whenever I was trying it as a customer myself before I joined as an ambassador, I almost had sticker shock with, whoa, I don't know if I want to pay X amount for whatever, milligram full size CBD. I wish there was a way I could have maybe tried it first. And I'm sure others feel the same way. You always put yourself in the customer's shoes. So I figured might as well, if they have these on the goes, why not sell them individually and at least let them try it without making them commit to a full size bottle if they don't want to, and go from there. So that's really how I came up with it. And yeah, it's really worked out. It's
I
really worked
love
out.
it. I love it. So did you guys hear her say that she started off as a customer first? So this is the biggest thing I want to convey to you on this Zoom. I do not want to pull you away from the recruiting bonuses that are happening right now with going off on tangents of signing customers, okay? We want to be bringing new brand ambassadors into our business right now, but VIP customers are the lifeblood of our business. And guess what? If you sign a VIP customer and you keep following up with them, you guys, they turn into brand ambassadors. So we're going to teach you guys some different things tonight that are more customer related, but those customers will turn into brand ambassadors if you stick with them. So April, can you kind of give us just some of your best tips and tricks? I know you sent me a couple of things earlier, just of how you're kind of making this happen, just the whole process from start to finish.
Absolutely. So I actually have a spreadsheet. I am a nerd, and you don't have to be an Excel whiz for it. If any of you are interested, please feel free to reach out to me or Ashley, your upline, and I'll get it in your hands for you. The biggest part about that is knowing where your margins are. Not to overcomplicate things, but to make sure you know where your money's going and where it's coming. Because you want to make sure how much you're profiting. Of course, that's the whole point while we're all
Exactly.
doing this. So if you think of it this way, the cost versus profit, each little mini CBD on the go, Synergy on the go, the cost is $11.80. And you can sell them for $20 a pop. So that margin, that's a 40% margin. So what that allows for is, first of all, you can offer flash discounts. That's what I've done, like for Valentine's Day weekend. I said, oh, they're running for $15 this weekend only. That way it accounted for a higher volume at a smaller, profit, but I made more that weekend because of the volume of orders that I had coming in. And then it also does account for any loss. I mean, we're dealing with mail. So if something, doesn't end up arriving, which honestly hasn't happened to me, thank God, but you at least can account for that. And you're going to be out honestly $2.
I love
That's
it.
not bad. That's not
So
bad at
smart.
all. So don't plan on that happening. But if for whatever reason, you can at least see the number, what you're paying for it and what your return is on it. And that's super important to remember. Um, This is something that I copied from Mr. Casey Morgan. If your budget allows, I found them super inexpensive on Amazon. Get some bright colored envelopes. It's going to stand out in the mail. They're going to know what they're looking for. It just looks fun and inviting. I mean, and they're bubble wrapped and everything. You don't have to worry about anything cracking in the mail. It just makes it a little easier. And they'll know what they're looking for as well on top of all of that. This is huge, this next part. Always, always, always write a thank you note. If you put yourself in the customer's shoes, if you just are a customer and then you get this thing showing up, you're like, I don't know what to do with it. CBD can be intimidating enough. So I always put a thank you note in there, and I always thank them for their business. I include directions for use, so that way there's no question. I include my cell phone number. That's optional, of course, but I always put my website domain at the bottom of the note. That's actually how I got my very first VIP customer. And so that was really cool. But just small, simple, easy. It takes maybe 3 minutes, and it means a lot. So people really appreciate that. As far as follow-up goes, I give it at least a week. So from the day that I mail it. I know they're going to get it within a week, of course, 3 to 5 days. Excuse my dog in the background. I'm sorry. He's right at home. Even though I'm sure that they got it, I want to give them a chance to use it and then find out, because sometimes it takes a couple of uses for people to really get, not just the first time, maybe a couple of days. And then by the time you follow up with them, they might be close to being out, and that's perfect timing to see if maybe they want another child size or even a larger size, the full size one, to become a VIP. And then of course you can cross all those bridges when you come to it of if they want a lower dosage or a higher dosage, or even if they want to join the team, you can have that conversation too. So that definitely helps. And then this is something kind of small, but it does make a big difference. When I'm pitching the minis, I try everything in my power not to refer to them as samples, because this ain't Costco. It's not free. Just giving them out because it costs us money. So whenever you use the term sample, sometimes people can think that means free. So I try to use trial size or minis. And the way that I spin it is talking to that customer, that potential, is I have trial sizes that, depending on your usage, will last you 1 to 2 weeks, or a full size bottle I can get you 20% off for that could last 1 to 2 months. That way they're in the driver's seat and they can decide what would be best for them and their budget. And either way you come out ahead. Either you make, $20 or you get a VIP, which is a win-win. So, so that's always good to know. And then I'm sorry, I lost where I was.
No, you're good.
I think this is another thing that I actually came up with after I was talking to you earlier, Ashley. You guys are going to laugh. But this is just get creative with it. I know that we can all say, I have 11 samples lined up, and we may not have 11 samples actually in our inventory. That's okay. Back order is fine. Let people know that they're pre-ordering so they understand you're not mailing it out tomorrow. But what is funny is I can stack these two up and they both have items in it. You can tell they both have items in it and all that. The difference is one of them has CBD in it. The other one has a wine opener and a lighter and chapstick. So it just looks like I have something in them that I'm mailing it out. You're not lying. You're just saying, hey, we're just, flashing out CBDs and look how busy I am. But that people don't know that. You don't have to tell them that. It just looks like you're busier than you are. That's sales. So you just need to make sure that you're always being positive and excited. And, I'm, sold out of this pre-order. I had to back order. So for this order, I'll do $15 or $5 off, and then it's $15. And honestly, whenever you play with that margin, you can play with your volume of customers. So that's all I got for you guys.
I love it. Okay, so I do have another question. So how are you getting people to buy the samples or buy the on the go? Are you posting about it? Are you, when you're having conversations with people, like how are you bringing it up to even get to the point where you can sell an on the go?
I'm a huge fan of polls on your story. You can see who's watching your story on Facebook or Instagram, whichever route you decide to take. But the way the algorithm works on both of those platforms is whoever watches your story first, whether it's chronological or not, they're going to see your stories first. So you can see who's always kind of checking up on you, and that's who you know is watching. So always keep that in mind. And if you post enough, people will vote on the poll. Oh, I want more info, or how much is it? My advice to you on the polls, though, make the answers small, because that way you don't get any accidents. Because if you put, oh, this answer or this answer, you're going to get some fat thumbs in there. And then it's going to be the awkward, oh, I didn't actually mean to, and whatever. So the smaller, the better. I saw something that came up. I don't know. I'm using my phone. It said, how do I get paid for them?
Yeah. So are they sending you cash? Are you doing Venmo? How does that part work?
I'm flexible. So I can do PayPal, Venmo, Apple Cash or Apple Pay, Facebook Pay if they really want to, Zelle. So I have all of those platforms set up. That way, if it's someone who doesn't like one, they prefer the other, there's no hiccup in between. And then what's also nice about Venmo too, and I'm pretty sure PayPal does the same thing, but if someone says, oh, can I wait until Friday when I get paid? Sure, that's no problem. Let me just send you the request. And then whenever you get paid, you can accept it, and then the transaction will go through. So if someone has to wait till Friday, you don't have to wait until Friday to follow up. You can just send that to them right now at that point, and then whenever they're ready, they'll be able to go ahead and complete that transaction. But like I said, make sure you have that spreadsheet handy. I'll send it to you guys. And on that spreadsheet, what I forgot to bring up, have the names listed, of course, and then highlight them as soon as you know they received it. Because I've sold so many, not to like be braggy or anything, but to where I sold out of my pre-orders, and then I was back ordered, and I just had like 20 samples coming in, and I needed to know who was going where and had to make sure that I was keeping up with who's received it or not. So I definitely highlight and keep up with that spreadsheet and know who I followed up with and who's received it. And that way, if I need to double check on postage, which is another thing, always put 2 or 3 stamps on everything.
Okay, good to know. So are you, as soon as you get paid, then you ship it out, right? You're not shipping it out before you get paid.
Correct. Because that's how, because things happen, and it doesn't mean anyone has any malintentions with it. I mean, things pop up all the time with financial, situations. So you just want to make sure that you're covered. It's a CYA.
Perfect. Okay, so and you guys, if you have any more questions, throw them in the chat. I was hoping to have Casey on here with us as well, because Casey Morgan has been doing this and he's been killing it as well. And I just asked him earlier, I said, if there's like 1 or 2 things that you would want to share with everybody tonight, what would they be? So I'm going to read what he sent me in text because it's so good. So he said, the biggest thing that works great for me with starting to try to get people to buy them from me is just like what April said. She uses Instagram story or Facebook stories. He said is start with a post or a story saying, I have X amount of samples available. Who wants one? Starting with a high number like 17 or 25 instead of saying you only have 3 to 5. So people don't see that it was posted hours ago and assume that they're all gone and not comment. I was like, oh my gosh, that's genius. Posting a high number means there is a better chance that there are probably some left, and then they'll actually comment. Then later in the day or the next day, to create urgency, he does another post or puts another story in there saying, I only have X amount left. So a lower number like 2 to 5, it makes it look like they're truly flying out the door, and it shows people that it's in high demand, creating more interest. So then I also asked him, how often do you buy on the go and how many do you get at a time? And he said, so I usually try to always have 10 physically on hand, or at least 10 on their way to me at all times. Sometimes I'll have none on hand, but 10 on their way and 3 already sold. So he might have sold 3 of them, and as soon as then he gets them in the mail, then he'll ship them out. So then once I get down to about 5 samples or 5 on the go, I'll order another round of 5. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay, that's perfect. I love that. Love it, love it. All right, guys. So there's another thing that I want to talk about tonight. There's 2 more things. So they are called Popup Posts. All right. So this is something that I've seen done in other companies. I used to do this a lot in our past company. It was a really great way for people to break into other markets. And so there's all these different names of what they're called out there. And when Aspen was in Michigan last week, we went out to lunch. I believe Mickey was there, Nikki was there, Sarah Levenberg, Casey, Jamie. I'm trying to think who else was there. And we rebranded the name to Popup Posts. Okay, so what is a pop-up post? So I'm going to kind of give you guys some of the things. I'm going to give you an example, but just know I'm going to do an entire Zoom all on this, breaking all of this down. So what is a pop-up post? It's a new social way to ask for referrals. It's a way to tap into other people's networks to sign up their friends and their family as VIP customers or brand ambassadors. So what you'll do is you'll ask other people to make a post for you, either targeting business builders or VIP customers with a product, and then they tag you in that, and then you get to message all the people commenting on their post. You'll also add these people as friends on Facebook or follow them on Instagram to add to your network. So why is this awesome? Okay, you will have access to people that you don't know, and you're going to plant tons and tons of seeds. It's a way for you to fill volume really fast. It's a way for you to get potential brand ambassadors, and it's a way for you just to expand your 100th list. So who can utilize this? If you do not use social media, that's okay. That is totally fine. You guys are building it in all these other ways. This is definitely a Facebook, Instagram type of thing. So, but everyone can utilize this. People with no warm market, or maybe you don't have supportive friends and family. Maybe you've talked to, or you feel like you've talked to so many people, but you feel like you don't know who to talk to. So you kind of dried up your warm market. Brand new brand ambassadors that join your team that are getting no's like crazy. This is a great way for them to start signing some people. Anyone wanting to promote, if you're looking for a promotion, I know Kim Lore was 1,000 away last Thursday night from 2-star executive at 5 p.m. So many people would have thrown in the towel, you guys. She busted it out, right? If you're making that decision that you're promoting on Thursday night, it's not a matter of if, but when you make that decision and you start running for it. This would be a great way all week long, have different pop-up posts going on where you're tapping into other people's networks. So how does it start? How do you do this? So you can start with a post on your wall. I'm going to give you guys a few examples. Start with a post on your wall. When people comment that they want to help you out or they want to, be a part of this, then you're going to message them. You're going to give them the post. They copy and paste it, put the post up on their social media. They tag you in the post, okay? You're going to then start replying to the comments because their friends are going to see their post and start commenting, yes, I want to try that Renew weight loss cleanse. Yes, I want to sleep better at night. I want to get my hands on some CBD, okay? So you're starting to reply to the comments. You're going to message the people that like and comment on those posts, friend them, sign them up, follow up with the person that popped the post for you and say, hey, you have about 5 people right now that are interested in trying our CBD. Have you ever thought about doing what I do? These could be your first couple customers, okay? So this is just a way, pop-up posts are a way for you just to get tons and tons and tons of brand new people to talk to, sign VIP customers, and sign brand ambassadors. So April, I know you have a couple of tips when it comes to this. Would you like to share a few of them with everyone?
Sure, definitely. And I love Host to Post. So I have to be completely honest. Did I unmute myself? Can y'all hear me?
Yep, we can.
Okay. So I was really hard-headed about Host to Post. I was like, no, I don't need to do that. I can just do this on my own. And finally, Casey walked me through it, and I am eating my words. Like, I was wrong. I'm not one to admit that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like this has given me more money. Like I'll be honest, I'm making $4 or $5 extra $100 a month just with CBD samples before commission because of Host to Post. Like it's ridiculous. I'm like hating myself for not doing it sooner. So with Host to Post, I always reiterate that multiple entries are available. Every time that they post and tag me in it, I count that as an entry. And no matter what kind of engagement on it there is, a comment, a like, anything, I add that person, just like Ashley said, message them. And I have more of a consultative approach. Like I said, I've dealt with CEOs in the past. They get pitched everything. So I try to, throw out with them first. So it's one of those, so for example, if Ashley liked my hosted post, I'd be like, hey, Ashley, I'm April, Casey Morgan's friend and CBD ambassador. I saw that, thank you for the love on my post. He tagged me in. Have you tried CBD before? Just question. And from that point, yes or no, you, like I said, come from more of a consultative approach. Okay, well, what benefits are you looking for in it is my next question always. And I always drop a few because sometimes people don't know what they're asking about. Are you looking for stress relief, trouble with anxiety, trouble sleeping, insomnia, or even pain relief? And if I bring up pain relief, it may not everyone has chronic pain. I might just be like, girl, this helps after a night from maybe a glass of wine too many the next morning. You have to be relatable is the most important thing. And then also another one is if someone says maybe they have tried it, but it didn't work for them, or they got it from, a gas station or something like that. We all have had those objections. So I always counter up with how just knowledge of our product is so important, knowing it's MCT oil based, it's a higher quality, knowing that it's 0.00% THC free. It's so that way if they have to worry about, testing for work or anything like that, just making sure you're ready with those as well. And then I also have some tips on objections. Do you want me to jump into that one, or Absolutely. Do you want me to?
Yeah, go for it. You're killing it.
Okay. Thanks. So I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We all know that some people are first ones to pop on and say, why don't you just smoke a bowl or something like that? And we all kind of rolled our eyes at it. I personally will reply if it's on a pop-up post. I will reply to that comment and I'll say something like, hey, don't make fun of my diet weed. Not everyone has that luxury, just like with the goofy face. And no matter what they say, whether it's negative or positive, they laugh back. I take that conversation offline. I want people to see that I can be lighthearted and take a joke or even kick back with another joke. But then I talk to that person, and I'm not kidding. People who have said those comments to me that I end up having a conversation with have bought CBD from me, no matter what their lifestyle is. So it's just knowing your market. I'm glad you like it. But yes, just going with the flow and not getting super offended over everything or deleting comments or something, just rolling with the punches because people are watching. They want to see how you respond. And if you can show that you're positive and happy and that doesn't get you down and then overcome that objection and you sold that person CBD, that's awesome. That is the biggest win ever. So just making sure you're not being combative online or anything like that, but knowing your market is another thing too, and just knowing how to overcome those objections. So something a little controversial I didn't know if I wanted to talk about, but it happened, and we all have had that conversation or had that comment before. So, but yeah.
Yeah, totally. I love that you said, don't be defensive, because so many people, you guys, they aren't when people ask questions, it doesn't mean they're questioning you. It just means they need clarity, right? And so when somebody asks me a question, I just sometimes need to take a breath and be like, okay, put myself in their shoes, feel, felt, found, right? So I love that you just said that, because it's really easy to take offense to certain things, to think, oh, they're coming at me, or they think this is a scam, or they think this product is a scam. And it's they're probably not thinking any of those things. They just have a couple of questions. So I love that. All right, guys, I want to read to you kind of one example of what a pop-up post would look like. And then we're going to move on. And I promise you, you guys know me, I will be creating an album with resources all around pop-up posts for all of you guys to use very, very soon. So Casey gave this to me, and he said sometimes he starts with they always start usually on his wall. He usually starts by making a post. So if he's running for a promotion, it might look like, I'm this close to my next goal and I'm needing just a few people to help me out. Who on my friends list would be willing to put up a status on their page for me to promote my business? I'll give you the status. You just copy, paste, tag me, which that would mean the world to me. Okay. So he posts that. People are starting to comment. People are saying, oh my gosh, Casey, I will, right? So when someone comments on his pop-up post, he sends them a message that says something like, hey, so now here's the next part. You don't have to do giveaways. You guys, the first few times I ever did pop-up posts in my previous business, I never did giveaways. You can do a $5 Starbucks gift card to, you can do whatever you want, but you don't have to do giveaways. So for this example, Casey was giving away something. I don't know what it was. It could have been a $10 Starbucks gift card, and everybody that submitted an entry form got a chance to win a, Target gift card or whatever. So in this example, so to get an entry into my giveaway, all you have to do is post a status for me, tag me. It's super simple. I appreciate your help more than anything. May I send you the status? They respond, right? So he sends them the status. The status says, who's been wanting to try CBD? My friend Ashley, they tag you, has one that is getting tons of amazing feedback, better sleep, less stress, reduced joint pain, and improved mental clarity. Drop an emoji for details. Okay, so their friends are starting to comment and drop these emojis. I'm now seeing that because they tagged me in it. So now I'm able to message them and start a conversation with them and take it from there, right? So I'm going to be giving you guys tons and tons and tons of different scripts and posts and how to start it from start to finish. It is coming this week. So stay close to Ignite because you guys are going to love it. If you're loving all of the tips that April is giving you, don't worry, we're getting all of them. I know some people were like, can you ask her to share some of her posts? Yes, all the yeses, it is coming. So the last thing I wanted to share with you guys tonight is another way that I have found to turn VIP customers into brand ambassadors and just start getting more. So I loved when April said, you guys, that she uses it as a consultation approach, right? Where she's asking them questions. If somebody says, hey, I'm interested in CBD, you're not just spewing them the facts and telling them how much it is, you're asking them questions. Well, let me ask you a question. Like before we get into all the details, why would you want to take CBD? And then list out a few things. But I'm going to share my screen with you. And
real quick, Ashley.
Yeah.
Before you do that, another thing that really went in, like I've been hammered into my head through all my sales training, is open-ended questions. After you ask the whole, have you tried it? Yes or no. Go back to the basics, elementary school. Who, what, when, why, how, where, everything. And that way you don't get just yes and no's. You literally, when you ask them these questions and they answer it, they're going to talk themselves into the sale. That's just how it works. It's crazy. Next time, try it and let me know how it works for you, because I guarantee you'll get way more sales out of trying that route.
I love it. Love it. Love it. So what she was just saying, you guys, about asking questions. Okay, what I'm going to show you guys are questionnaires that I came up with. Now, these are when you are messaging with people, or say you're starting a random conversation. If you guys are following Eileen's 2-2 rule every day and you're interacting with 2 people online that have nothing to do with EMRIS and then 2 people online about EMRIS, those 2 people have nothing to do with EMRIS. At some point, you're building relationships with those people. And guess what? EMRIS can come up, right? So sometimes people have a hard time like transitioning, like where do I go, right? And if you are developing relationships with people online and you say, hey, I have a question for you. Like I'm starting to kind of just gather information. I'd love for you to fill out a quick questionnaire. Would you be willing to do that? Chances are they're like, yeah, send it over, right? So I'm going to share my screen and show you guys 3 that I came up with tonight, okay? So this first one, I'm not going to start with that one. I'm going to start with skincare. Okay, there we go. All right, so this is a picture that you would just text them. All right, so it asks them the questions and they're going to answer them back in a text or on Facebook or whatever. So you're asking them questions about their skincare routine. Why? Because you now have an option to start talking to them about our skincare line based on what and how they answered this, right? So this would be what I would send to somebody that I'm asking skincare questions to. This would be for more like weight loss, or I called it our body renewal because we have the Renew 180 challenge. But even after that Renew 180 challenge ends in April, you guys, right now, those 3 products, Vita, Synergy, and Renew, are what I'm trying to get everybody to order, right? So not only would they not want to just start with Renew, but you want to upsell people. So do you exercise? How many pounds do you want to lose? Do you take vitamins and supplements now? So you're just asking people questions about, what they're doing right now. And then hemp-derived CBD questionnaire. So you guys, I just came up with this super fast, super quick. I'm going to be posting these on our team page. If you guys have any other questions that you think should be on here or another questionnaire, feel free to reach out and I can make something up like this. But based on their answers, you guys, based on how they answer these questions, now what you can do is you can create what I like to call subscription box options. Okay, so the whole phrase of auto ship is scary to most people. And I love that EMRIS doesn't make people get on auto ship, but you guys, we want them on auto ship, right? Why? It's better for them. They're able to get more perks that way, right? And so if you can think of a way, like April was talking about with sales, instead of saying like, hey, yeah, you can set up an auto order, and they're going to immediately be like, oh, no, I don't want to do that because I'm going to be locked in, right? Of if they're filling out that body renewal questionnaire and you want to talk to them about getting the Renew 180 Challenge products, you can say something like, hey, based on what you said, based on some of the answers that you gave me, I'm not sure if you're open to it or not, but one thing that I'm doing right now is I'm on this Renew 180 challenge, and I get a subscription box sent to me every single month in the mail with 3 of my favorite products that help me sleep better, boost my metabolism, and give me all the nutrition that I want. Are you interested in more info? Okay, it is a really fun, easy way to kind of bridge that gap and start talking to them. So the last thing I will say before we kind of end this, like I said, you guys, I will be giving you all of these details, way more information, scripts, images, all the things are coming. I just wanted to start the conversation with you guys, teach you something new tonight. But before you put in a VIP customer, every single time that you're getting ready to send or hit submit on that order, make the ask of the business, okay? So if, say, somebody's buying Synergy from you, instead of just putting in all their information and clicking submit, get all their information, but before you hit submit, text them and say, hey, before I actually hit submit on this, I just wanted to ask, have you ever thought about doing what I do, and instead of spending money, make a little bit of extra money? Like, do you know anybody, can you think of anybody off the top of your head that would want the same benefits from the CBD bottle that you're actually, and why you're purchasing it, right? Just ask them that question. The worst thing that they're going to say is, no, I just want to spend money. I don't need to make it. That's like the worst thing that they're going to say. A lot of times what it does is they might not flip to being a brand ambassador that night, but it starts the conversation. And it's ways that you guys can turn your VIP customers into brand ambassadors by just simply asking a few more questions before, and don't feel, like I always say, like, am I so like desperate that I just like need to get this order in right now? No, I'm not, right? I can ask a couple more questions. Like, it's okay. So your action step, I would say, would be to order Synergy on the go, you guys. Let's see if you can make a little bit of extra money. I love seeing some of the screenshots that April and Casey and other people have posted of like their Venmo of like $20, $20, $20, $20, and like they're sitting there with $100 extra in their Venmo account just from sending out Synergy on the go. I mean, how cool is that? It's Monday. We get these in the mail quickly. If you need some extra cash by the weekend, you guys, this is a way for you to make extra money, and it's a way for your new brand ambassadors to make money fast. I would say that every single kit, when anybody joins, I know a few of the kits or one of the kits come with the on the goes, but people should even add that to their kit when they enroll, because they can get those on the goes in right away the day that their kit comes, and have those to be able to start selling out to their friends. The last tip I'll give you guys about on the goes, what I've been doing is I tell people if they're getting ready to buy a bottle of Synergy, or if we're having a conversation about anything CBD. Anytime somebody asks, how much is it? I don't go right to the On The Go, and I don't go right to $59 for the 150. What I'll say is I can send you a 4 to 5 day supply for $20, or you can buy a 30-day supply for $60. What's best for you? Okay. Right there will be some people are like, I don't want to spend the $60. Yep, send me the 4-day supply. I'm just going to try it and see how it goes, and I'm going to spend the $20. Other people are going to go, oh my gosh, it's a way better deal to buy the full bottle, right? And then there you go, you get a you get a VIP customer out of it. So that's just one way that I'm kind of phrasing it when I'm having conversations with people. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording real quick. And then I will sit on here for just a minute longer to answer any questions if you guys have any. Otherwise, we can get going.